Good morning and welcome to the Scottish Sun's International videocast, where we look ahead to tonight's game between Scotland and the United States at Hampden. I'm Roger Hanna, with me today are football writers Kenny MacDonald and Andy Devlin. Guys, you'll both be at Hampden tonight. Andy, how important a game is this for Gordon Strachan?
Well, in terms of momentum and continuing the good work that he's done, 3 wins from 4 of the last World Cup qualifiers, it's vitally important. America, as we all know, 18 months ago inflicted a 5-1 defeat in Scotland, so there's an element after trying to put that result right in for them.
Kenny, you spoke to Jurgen Klinsmann and the American stand-in captain Tim Howard at Hampden last night. It's a big game for them as they count down to the World Cup finals. Are they treating it seriously?
Well, the concerning thing is that they are. They see these 2 games, us and then Austria next week, as important opportunities for them to play European opposition that they'll play in the World Cup finals.
Andy, Gordon Strachan has lost a few attacking players. James Forrest out, Chris Burke, Matt Phillips, Jordan Rhodes as well. On the positive side though, Stephen Fletcher back really for the first time under Strachan.
Yeah, and that's a huge boost in itself. You just look at his record in the Premiership, second to none. He is the #1 Scottish striker now that Kenny Miller has retired. I hope he gets a run out tonight. Looking forward to seeing him in action.
Gordon hinted as well he was going to give a couple of fringe players a game either tonight or maybe in Norway next Tuesday night, Kenny. Gordon Greer, Craig Bryson were hinted at. Can you see them being involved?
I think Gordon Greer is due to be involved, if for nothing else but good attendance, because he's come religiously to every Scotland get-together, hasn't got any action yet, so I think he's entitled to expect to get a cap tonight, certainly tonight and possibly even Tuesday as well.
And there'll be a 9th cap for David Marshall in goal, Andy, with Alan McGregor out for a few weeks with an injury. Is there a lot of misfortune in Scotland colours, but is this his best season so far?
I think, in terms of for Cardiff, undoubtedly, you look at his saves a couple of weeks ago. Stephen Whittaker spoke in midweek about how David Marshall single-handedly defied Norris a few weeks ago. So certainly at club level, he is performing week in, week out. As you say, internationally, he's had, he's been in the wrong end of a few drubbings, if you like, but you couldn't really blame David Marshall for a lot of goals that we lost, and there's obviously been problems at the back. Gordon Strachan yet to, Grant Hanley's been playing, but really to identify his centre-half pairing. So I think he's looking to try and get a settled back forward, but a big opportunity again for David Marshall tonight.
Scott Brown made his Scotland debut the last time the USA were at Hampden. He's now developed into an international captain. Club-wise, he's missing some big games because of the Champions League suspension. Will he be looking forward to tonight's game, Kenny?
I think this is a good opportunity for him. As you say, he's missed a couple of European games with Celtic. But, this will be a test tonight for Scotland, not just for Scott Brown, but for the whole team, because the USA are a decent side. They're not 13th in the world for nothing. 21 internationals this year. They play a lot of games, 16 wins. They're going to be difficult opposition in Scotland. I think if Scotland win tonight, it'll be a terrific result.
I think this is a huge indication of where we are under Gordon Strachan. As we've mentioned, both of us, that 3 wins from the last 4 World Cup qualifiers. But as Kenny said, they've already qualified for the World Cup. They play a lot of European opposition. This will be a real indication of where we are at the moment.
And a couple of former Rangers players coming back to Glasgow tonight. Demarcus Beasley, who was a success scored in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden, and also Alejandro Bedoya, who didn't have such a decent time, although he's now scoring goals in France's top flight for Nantes. Will he want a big display?
And the thing about Bedoya in particular, Demarcus Beasley's got over 100 caps now, playing as a left back peculiarly. But the thing about Bedoya is, this will be his 24th cap tonight, so he's carved a decent career at a decent level with the US since leaving Rangers.
And there's going to be some bragging rights at Everton next week, either Tim Howard in goal for the States or Stephen Naismith arguably up front for Scotland.
Yeah, Stephen Naismith, this season he's beginning to show the Everton fans what he is capable of. He had a difficult start there. He scored a few goals this season, but he always seems to do it in a Scotland jersey. He's one of these guys that always seems to turn up and perform for Scotland. As you say, bragging rights up for grabs. And
the moment you all like, guys, the predictions. Kenny, how do you see it going?
I'll be surprised if Scotland win.
Andy?
No, I think Scotland will win. I'll go for 2-1.
Here's hoping. Guys, thank you very much indeed.